আপনারা শুনছেন কমিউনিটি রেডিও জেইউ 90.8 মেগাহার্টজ। যাদবপুর বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের এই বেতার সম্প্রচার বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের টেকনিক্যাল এডুকেশন কোয়ালিটি ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট প্রোগ্রামের অংশ। সব রকম মানুষের প্রয়োজনে আমরা দায়বদ্ধ ভিন্ন ধরনের মননশীল অনুষ্ঠান প্রচারে। কমিউনিটি রেডিও জেইউ 90.8 মেগাহার্টজ।
Hello, JEU fraternity. This is Aditi Das. Welcome you all at JEU Community Radio 90.8. Today we have our special guest, Dr. Franklin Menezes. Dr. Menezes at present Seva, Kendra, Calcutta as a director. It's an NGO. Sir, welcome to our radio community channel.
Thank you so much.
So can you please tell us something about your organization Seva, Kendra, Calcutta and its mission over the years?
Yes, sure. First let me give you a general picture of Seva Kendra Calcutta. It reaches out in bringing hope and healing to more than 100,000 families in 8 districts of West Bengal, and even beyond that, as and when is necessary. And then we have about 50 programs and projects. And obviously, as a social service society, our target group is the most marginalized and the economically impoverished people. That's our target group. What generally we call the very poor people. I don't like that word, very poor people, because they are only economically impoverished. Otherwise, they are not at all poor. Fundamentally, we are a faith-based organization in the sense that we are the official social development arm of the Archdiocese of Calcutta. You may have heard of the Archdiocese, right? Our headquarters is on 32 Park Street, just next to St. Xavier's College. That means to say, our basic aim is to manifest, or rather show to the people, to that particular target group that I was referring to, the compassionate face of Jesus and of the church towards such people, who are on the margins of society. And obviously, without making any distinction whatsoever between race and culture and religion, language, sex, or one's political ideology or affiliation. And therefore, our approach is all-inclusive. We do not look at, what that particular person, the only thing is that he is a poor person. And therefore, our goal, according to me, if I might say, is a holistic societal transformation. It is a transformation of society, but holistic, not just economic. This is very important for me to underline the fact. We are looking at every aspect of human life when we reach to people. The person, as you know, is multidimensional, having various aspects of life. And taking that into consideration, our approach is holistic. And our strategy, the main strategy, obviously not in all the projects, is empowerment through community mobilization. We want to empower people, especially those that are, voiceless, those that are, broken, those that are really, in dire need of someone to hold their hand and make them walk and run again. See, that's basically what Seva Kendra Calcutta is all about. And then, we work based on the principles of the Catholic social teaching. It might sound like as if it's a charter, so to say, of the church with regard to social work, The first among them is the dignity of the human person. This is what we want to uphold in all our projects. In all our approach, the dignity of the human person is of prime importance to us. And then the second pillar of this particular Catholic social teaching is the common good. What, in secular terms, one would say is the public good. Not just the good of a few individuals, etc., but it is the good of the whole community. And this leads to a third principle, that is the principle of solidarity. We want to bring people together, communities together, family, which is the pillar of our society, the foundation of our society on which society is built. So you see, this approach is therefore one of promoting solidarity. And then, obviously, another principle is one of social justice.
Yes.
As you know, the world and our society is divided between the rich and the poor. And day in and day out, we are seeing that the rich are becoming richer and the poor are becoming poorer. And then we see this happening now with this pandemic of COVID-19. Crores and millions of people are unable to, even earn their daily bread, especially the daily wage earners, the migrant workers, etc. The ones who are were working at the construction sites. It is absolutely heartbreaking to look at what is happening in society today. And so two other things I want to just place before you before we move on to other things is preferential option for the poor. We want to work for everyone.
Yeah.
But obviously we do not have all the resources at our disposal to be able to work for the entire world. So we make an option for the poor, the economically poor, those that are in need of someone to hold their hands. And finally, care of creation, environment, that today how it is, the climate change, what it has brought about, the devastating experiences that humankind is experiencing because of what we have done with nature. So care for creation is another pillar of the Catholic social teaching. As you notice this, there is nothing Catholic about it except that this is universal. The word Catholic means also universal, and therefore it is not the ghetto terminology that has been utilized. This could be used by anyone, and that's how it is.
So, sir, what are the initiatives that Seva Kendra Calcutta has taken to fight this global pandemic COVID-19?
Yeah, we have taken, you see, already, even you would be surprised that even before the government of West Bengal or the government of India declared a lockdown, I took the initiative to close down Seva Kendra Calcutta. Okay, nice. That means to say I did not want our staff to be able to come to the office or to their project site without necessity. So and then the second thing we did was we made them aware of the dangers. First, we did it with the staff, an intensive process of awareness as regard to what this virus is all about and how we can prevent being affected and spreading this virus, so that our staff, in turn, would be able to spread this awareness with their stakeholders and their beneficiaries. So a massive awareness drive was conducted. Some of it was by word of mouth, because when we already began, there was no crowding possible, big meetings were not allowed, etc., etc. And much of that we therefore did it through leaflets, through phone calls, through WhatsApp and things like that. We utilized the media, especially the digital media, to spread awareness among our beneficiaries first and foremost, in the various districts that we are working. And, there are lots of things that we did, but one very touching thing that I want to share with you is what we had done with the truck drivers. You see, we have a project called Sambandh. It's a relational project trying to bring about the psychosocial well-being of the truck drivers. Wow. Basically, of the multi-axle truck drivers. 13,500 of them are registered with us, and they are from different parts of the country. Okay, this is one of our flagship projects, possibly the biggest of our projects. It operates in 5 districts of West Bengal. And what happened is, one guy from Bihar Arun Chaudhary by name. Through our, call and connect program. We launched a program called Operation Karuna to fight against COVID-19.
Wow.
Operation Karuna, massive. I'm not going to touch upon all the work that I've done, but I'll start with this little story, of Arun Chaudhary, was a truck driver and from Bihar. Just imagine, and he's he's on our beneficiary list and associated with us. You see, of all the 13,500 truck drivers, we have the data with us. Their phone calls and all the data, the trucks that they drive, the number plates, their license, everything. The entire database is with us. So we can reach out to them at any time in any part of the world, and they also can reach out to us, our staff, And so this Arun and 5 other truck drivers were stranded in a place called Hoskote. Hoskote is close to Bangalore. And these people, 6 of them, had no place to stay and they had no food to eat. And our staff came to know through their call and connect initiative that they were there. And they asked us, can you help us? I said, certainly we will, because we have a national network and we are in touch with the various associations. So we got in touch with the Federation of Karnataka Lorry Owners Association, and that was, and that was precisely on the 28th of March already, and the Royal Trailers Service reached out to them and provided them with accommodation and fooding. It was so very gratifying to us, and they were so grateful that we managed to help them just through one phone call or just through a few calls. This is what we can do, and these truck drivers are actually those people who are not cared by anyone. Who speaks about a truck driver? They are not given the proper place in society, in spite of the fact that they are the ones who drive the wheels of the economy of our country, To the length and breadth of this country, they are driving day in and day out, bringing consumables, food items, all that is required for our day-to-day living. And we don't know the service they are rendering to us. I myself did not know until we started this project 4 years ago. And Maersk Lines is our, the donor for this particular project. And people of Maersk were extremely were stressing on the fact that during this time, they told me, please reach out to the drivers. Make sure that none of them has to suffer, none of them has to go hungry, and that they get whatever is required for dignified living. It was so touching message that came actually from their CEO to me. Very personally, we have a very nice relationship for the 4 years. So this is what they asked us to do. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so very much. We have Ms. Arundhati Gupta with us. Ms. Gupta is at present Seva, Kendra, Calcutta as a documentation officer and soft skills trainer. Ma'am, welcome to our community radio show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please tell us what is the goal of Seva, Kendra, Calcutta?
Absolutely. So basically, we as an organization, we believe that we need to, uplift the society. So basically, the goal of Seva Kendra Calcutta is to serve the poor and people who are suffering or are disadvantaged in one way or the other. So our goal is to, uplift them basically. And this, through our operations, we are doing it in the state of West Bengal. So, and in fact, in order to pursue our goals and, we strive hard towards it, and we this reflects in our trust areas that we work upon. So if I can explain that, we basically Seva Kendra Calcutta, it focuses on 6 main trust areas. These are the 6 thematic areas that we focus on. Some of them are environment, then we have health, then we have education, then we have social justice, livelihood, and food security. So basically, these are the 6 thematic areas that we work on. And if I can, if I can explain, like in environment, as an organization, we are very, I can call it green. We focus on, finding sustainable ways where it benefits the earth, For example, we have a project which is solar-based, where we do natural resource management, where we address the climate change. And also, by doing that, we sort of uplift the women, because we sort of try to bring them into the mainstream by, training them on to how to produce the solar lanterns and other products related to solar. So that is one thing. And when it comes to health, in Midnapur, we have our St. Joseph's Hospital. So again, through that hospital, we sort of serve the poor who are in need of these services, and they can't afford to, they can't afford to have these services because of their condition. So St. Joseph's Hospital is one of the most pioneer hospitals in the area of Midnapur. Then we have education. Again, education is a very important part that we focus on. There are certain programs that we have, for example, it's the Smile Twin e-learning program, where we actually educate the students who are basically dropouts or don't have enough, access to the mainstream educational facilities. So we train them, and we give them training in retail, basic spoken English, then computer learning, and financial learning. So, and we also, through this system, we sort of try to place them at the end of it. So when they complete the course of 4 months, they sort of, get a job. We get them placed in the retail sector, and maybe in the call sector, in the BPO sector. So we sort of help them out like that in that area. And another interesting aspect of this is that we also have a children parliament that we sort of, have, where the children are made aware of their rights, and they are their own leaders. We sort of follow the, Indian parliament system. We make the kids someone is home minister, someone is the prime minister. So they address the issues, because what we don't realize is that children are more observant about things that we as adults might miss out on. So they sort of, through Children's Parliament, we sort of address this issue. Also, we make them very aware of child abuse and what is right, what is not right, and again, focusing on hygiene. So that is something we do. Then we have a livelihood project. I'm sure you must have heard till now about the community mobilization program that we have in the area of Kendra and Sholophiga, right? And then we have the social justice thematic area. We have a Samban project, who's currently we have, I'm sure some of you are aware of Operation Karuna, where we are getting in touch with the truck drivers and making them aware of, giving them sort of a counseling about the current situation, about the current global pandemic, right? So that is another one that we have in our social justice. And also, a project which is very close to my heart, which falls into the category of livelihood. It's our, it's a beautician's training program where we sort of train the women of the marginalized section of the society. So it's like a livelihood project where they are learning, they are getting skilled in one area, and we sort of, we teach them the beauty of course, but then we are also teaching them soft skills, maybe personality development in English. And again, we have another project. So there are a lot of projects that, through which Seva Kendra is trying to reach out to the, disadvantaged section of the society. So every day we strive towards that. And another interesting thing is that we promote, we support, in the thematic area of food security. We support organic farming. So Seva Kendra very diligently promotes organic farming because it's a healthy way of doing things, right? So this is what it is. I mean, I couldn't be more proud of the things that Seva Kendra is conducting the programs in.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please tell us something about your organization education?
Organizational education, like I said, I mentioned in the thematic area, like education. We focus, I was telling you about the STEP e-learning program, where we educate the youngsters where, in the sector of, say, retail. We give them training in spoken English, personality development, and then some idea about the finance also. So, and at the end of it, what we see that, it gives them an opportunity to earn their livelihood because most of them are dropouts and they don't have access due to certain financial issues or some, inescapable, circumstances. They were not, they could not study. So this program gives them the chance to educate themselves and sort of gives them the opportunity to, earn the living, basically. And then we have another project. It's called Ek Sunehra Kal. It's a computer training center in Seva Kendra, Calcutta itself, where we have a very talented trainer who imparts knowledge about computer. Wow. And again, we do this for the disadvantaged section of the society, who are dropouts and who want to learn and in the future get themselves a job. So these are some things that we do. And currently in the COVID-19 situation, we, as a part of the beauty training, like I was telling you, the beauty training program, we have been taking online classes to Zoom, where we teach them about, their basics of, English and also beauty, because it's a part of the beauty project, yes. So that is what, and it's very important during this time that we don't lose touch with our students, because everybody is in a state of panic. So this taking sessions through online, through digital platform, it sort of gives them a sense of attachment that they're still there, and there is a hope at the end of it. And let's not think about it in a very negative manner. Like, we'll come out of it, I think, with the best with the best things, I believe.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Aditi. It was lovely talking to you.
We have our another special guest, Mr. Alexander James. Mr. James working as a program and human resource manager associated with Seva Kendra, Calcutta. So, welcome to our JU Radio Community channel.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, what are some of your flagship projects that you have taken up over the years, and how have they contributed towards the upliftment of the society?
Right. We have 6 thematic areas that we are currently, having different projects in those areas. Environment is one, health, education, social justice, livelihood, and food security. So we have more than 45 projects. And if I consider, if I look at all the projects, few of projects, have a great impact. Like there's a project called Sambandh, which is for the truck drivers. And we are reaching out to more than 10,000 truck drivers in that project. Basically, it's a holistic project. It's a psychosocial change, that we bring in their lives. And if I move on, probably the other one would be the community mobilization project, which is coming under the social justice thematic area. And we work in the slums of Tangra and Solubiga. We are working with more than 15,500 families over there. And this project is mostly, we ensure that we give trainings to the people. We form them into different groups, which we call as social action groups. And There are various other groups also, like women's group, youth group, children's group, and there are some networking committees. So basically what happens is, like, we are working with, majority of them are rag pickers and domestic workers. So what we do is earlier the situation was very different in this, in the community that I'm talking about. The women were not allowed to go out, and even the men, they had a very different attitude towards women working. So that totally changed, because we have been working in the slums for last 10 years now. And that attitude has totally, completely changed. And now the women are taking leadership in the community. The women are more, vocal about sharing their ideas. So some of the things, they have ensured that they get their, the government pension, scholarships, government schemes, access to those things. And also they are able to go to the local councillor and ask for their needs, and their rights, which was not happening earlier. Like, there weren't any toilets, so they went and approached. There weren't any street lights, so they went to the councillor. A lot of water shortage, so they also, spoke out, and they made sure that the councillor understands their needs. And apart from that, it is fantastic, because more than 10 lakhs have been, they have acquired. If I look at last 10 years, more than 10 lakh of benefits they have got from the government through these pensions and, scholarship and stuff like that. So that's our second project. The third project, which I would like to bring to your notice, is basically, it's called NRM, which is the Natural Resource Management. What we do there is basically we train women who are living in the remote rural areas, and we teach them how to make two things, which is, one is the solar products that that comes under the environment thematic area. So we teach them how to make solar lanterns, and also to assemble it and to sell it, so that they can earn a livelihood. And the second thing that we do is we teach them how to produce organic vegetables. So they do that as well. So, it is astounding, because more than, I think last year, they were able to sell more than 20,000 solar lanterns. And it was amazing, all these, women from the rural areas. So it was wonderful to see that. And then apart from that, there's another project which I would like to up is, it's child labor-free villages, basically focusing on, obviously, removal of child labor. This happens in, Bamundanga, 24 Parganas North. So we are working with more than, I think, close to 30,000 families there, and so far we are able to eradicate child labor from one of the Gram Panchayat there. So it is totally eradicated. They will be declaring that Panchayat free from child labor. So that is going to happen very soon after the lockdown. So these are some of the major projects, and also apart from this, we have a lot of training programs, like livelihood programs. Like we teach beauticians training, we teach English, spoken English, computers. We also teach women to make sanitary pads. We have a project which is coming under that. So there are many trainings, a lot of trainings going on.
Okay, so is there something unique that you did to help people who are in dire states during this lockdown period?
Yes, there are few things. It's very difficult to say one thing, but we have done a lot of things. I will just quickly share, we have a hospital in Midnapur, that's St. Joseph Hospital, which is a 130-bed facility. And it was offered on request to the health department of the district of Jhargram. So we had done that. Then more than 1,400 people, which are mostly rat pickers and widows and, daily wage earners, they were provided food packets. And this was done just, last week we had done this. And apart from this, every day for 13 days, 500 children were provided one banana and 200 milliliters of milk for breakfast in the communities of Kendra and other areas, mostly the slum areas. So this was done. We had 10,000 leaflets that were printed and distributed along with 1,000 masks, basically. And along with this, something very interesting happened was that we created a helpline, for educating truck drivers about COVID-19. That was able to reach, we got calls from more than 300 truck drivers. And now, in this, as I said earlier, we have more than 10,000 truck drivers who are already registered with us. And along with this, we were able to give them ration and also sanitizers. 1,000 sanitizers were given. And, looking at the health aspect, there were 5 clinics which were set up. This is basically, these clinics were set up by Seva Kendra for initial testing. And also, after the initial testing, we were able to refer them to the hospitals. So these are some of the things which, just came to my mind.
Wow. So, running an interesting project that called community mobilization in the slums of Tangra and Solobiga area. Can you please elucidate some of the initiative that you have taken there?
Yes. This project, as I shared a little bit about it, we are doing this project for last 10 years and mostly done in Ward 56, 57 and 58 of Kolkata Municipal Corporation and Ward 11 of Maheshtala Municipality, which is called Solobiga. Now, let me quickly share about Solobiga. It is a slum which is unregistered, so they don't have any privilege. They don't have any water accessibility of water. Drainage is not there. Then street lights, health facilities, education facilities, nothing is there. So Seva Kendra has been working there for last 5 years, and we were able to bring a lot of changes in the community there with regard to the awareness. Mostly there weren't any awareness because what happens during the rainy season, it gets flooded and it stays like that for almost 8 months in a year. So the people used to, bathe in that water. They used to cook in that water, with that water. They used to, wash in that water. So if there was no health and sanitation awareness in that community, and we were able to help them with that. And, we have formed a lot of groups there also. So we are reaching more than 5,000 families in that particular slum. And the other slum that we are working is Tangra, which we are reaching more than 10,000 families. And this is done, regularly. We have a team of 14 people who are working on this. And regular, we give them a lot of trainings, a lot of meetings happen on a weekly basis every month. And then we give them trainings like participatory learning and action, how to participate in, bringing a change in the community. And also, team building. There's a lot of training with regard to social analysis, problem identification, those kind of things are being done. So this project is, it's a very unique project because it's a holistic project. It does not focus on just one area, but it focuses on developing, people with regard to their entire, the entire community, not just one section. Because we have different groups. We have social action groups. We have women's group. We have, youth group, children's group, and also networking committees. And we are also working with the Rapticals. So it is a holistic project looking at different aspects, And what it does is basically we teach them how to network with the local councillor and also the clubs and government departments. This was not done earlier because people were very, closed with regard to, their mindset. But last 10 years, we were able to bring a change in the mindset of the women, a change in the mindset of local leaders, the religious leaders. Now they are really supporting us. The local clubs support us with regard to a lot of awareness programs that we do in the community. We also do a lot of programs related to current, issues. So we do that. And apart from this, we also help them to approach the, the government departments for different kinds of pension. Scholarships, government schemes, and as I shared earlier, that more than 10 lakhs they were able to, get from the government with regard to all these things.
Wow.
So it's a fantastic project. I'm really fortunate to be part of this.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking this interview, and thank you so much that I was able to, share about Seva Kendra Calcutta, what it does for the marginalized people. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
করোনা ভাইরাস কোভিড-19 প্রকোপে পড়েছে গোটা বিশ্ব, বাদ পড়েনি আমাদের দেশ এবং রাজ্য। এমতো অবস্থায় ঘাবড়ে যাওয়া, মন খারাপ করা বা ভয় পাওয়াটা খুবই স্বাভাবিক। মাথার মধ্যে হয়তো অনেক প্রশ্ন, মানে কি করব না, সেগুলো নিয়েও হয়তো অনেক দ্বন্দ্ব বা অনেক কনফিউশন সৃষ্টি হয়েছে। আসুন এক এক করে সেই সমস্ত প্রশ্নের জটিলতাকে আমি আর আপনি কাটিয়ে উঠি। সবার প্রথমে আমাদের মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী আমাদেরকে আবেদন করেছেন লকডাউন পালন করতে। লকডাউন মানে অত্যন্ত প্রয়োজনীয় কারণ ছাড়া বাড়ি থেকে একেবারেই না বেরোনো। তো আসুন, ঠিক যেমনটা আমরা পালন করছি ঠিক তেমনভাবেই লকডাউন মেনে আমরা বাড়ির থেকে বেরোবো না। অত্যন্ত জরুরি কারণ, মানে বাড়ির ওষুধ ফুরিয়ে গেছে বা ইমার্জেন্সিতে কোনো ওষুধ লাগবে, ডাক্তার দেখানো প্রয়োজন, বা বাড়ির রেশন ফুরিয়ে গেছে তাই কিছু রেশন আনতেই হবে, এই মতো অবস্থাগুলো ছাড়া যে কোনো কারণে আড্ডা দেওয়া, চা খাওয়া, এমনি ঘুরে দেখে আসা দোকান খুলেছে কিনা, এই কৌতূহলগুলোকে বাদ দিয়ে অত্যন্ত জরুরি বা প্রয়োজনীয় কারণ ছাড়া বাড়ি থেকে বেরোবেন না। এবং যখন এই প্রয়োজনের জন্য আপনি বাড়ি থেকে বেরোচ্ছেন, অবশ্যই মাস্ক এবং গ্লাভসের ব্যবহার করুন। মাস্ক আর গ্লাভস পরে বেরোন। যখন বেরোচ্ছেন মানুষের থেকে অন্তত 1 মিটার দূরত্ব বা ডিস্টেন্স বজায় রাখুন। অযথা কোথাও গিয়ে ভিড় করবেন না, জটলা করবেন না, বাক বিতণ্ডার মধ্যে নিজে জড়িয়ে পড়বেন না। জরুরি প্রয়োজন মিটে গেলেই সঙ্গে সঙ্গে বাড়ি চলে আসুন। বাড়ি এসেই যে জামা কাপড়গুলো পরে আপনি বাইরে বেরিয়েছেন সেগুলো সঙ্গে সঙ্গে তৎক্ষণাৎ কেচে ফেলুন এবং আপনিও স্নান করে ফেলুন। আর বাড়িতে থাকলেও হ্যান্ড স্যানিটাইজার বা বারে বারে সাবান দিয়ে হাত ধোয়ার অভ্যেসটাকে ত্যাগ করবেন না। বারবার করে সাবান দিয়ে হাত ধোন। হ্যান্ড স্যানিটাইজার থাকলে সেটা পকেটে করে বাইরে যখন বেরোচ্ছেন নিয়ে বেরোন এবং বারে বারে হ্যান্ড স্যানিটাইজার বাড়ির ভেতরে বা বাইরে প্রয়োগ করুন। যেটা বারবার আমাদের মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্রী এবং সবাই আমাদের বলছেন, গুজবে কান দেবেন না, গুজব ছড়াবেন না। এই সময় শান্ত থাকুন এবং জরুরি দরকার বা প্রয়োজন ছাড়া লকডাউন মানুন, বাড়িতে থাকুন। আপনি বাড়িতে থাকলে আপনি এবং আপনার পরিবার সুস্থ এবং সুরক্ষিত থাকবে। আর আপনার এই পদক্ষেপ দেখলে আর 5 জন শুধু শিখবেন না, তারাও বাড়িতে থাকবেন, তারাও সুস্থ এবং সতর্ক থাকবেন। আপনি আপনার এলাকার কোন কোন বাজার বা কোন কোন দোকান খোলা, কটা অবধি খোলা, সেই সমস্ত ইনফরমেশন আমাদের সঙ্গে শেয়ার করতে পারেন, যাতে আমরা সবাই একে অপরের উপকারে লাগতে পারি এবং দরকারের সময় কোনো না কোনো দোকান থেকে ওষুধ, বাজার বা দরকারি জিনিসপত্র নিতে পারি। সেটার জন্য আপনি আমাদের ইমেল করে জানাতে পারেন covid19radioju@gmail.com অথবা ফেসবুকেও আমাদের পেজে এসে পোস্ট করতে পারেন। আমাদের পেজে আসার জন্য টাইপ করুন fb.me/radiojucovid19। আশা করছি খুব শিগগিরই আমরা সবাই মিলে সতর্ক থাকলে, সুরক্ষিত থাকলে এবং নিয়মগুলো পালন করলে সবাই খুব শিগগির এই পরিস্থিতি থেকে আমরা মুক্তি পেতে পারবো। আশা করছি আমি যে একদিন না একদিন নোভেল করোনা ভাইরাস কোভিড-19 হাত থেকে মুক্তি পাবে গোটা বিশ্ব, মুক্তি পাবে আমাদের এই দেশ এবং রাজ্য। আর আমরা সবাই মিলেমিশে আবার একদিন সুখ, শান্তি, সমৃদ্ধি এবং ভালো দিনের মুখ দেখব। সবাই শান্তিতে ভালোভাবে থাকতে পারবো।
আপনারা শুনছেন কমিউনিটি রেডিও জেইউ 90.8 মেগাহার্টজ। যাদবপুর বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের এই বেতার সম্প্রচার বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের টেকনিক্যাল এডুকেশন কোয়ালিটি ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট প্রোগ্রামের অংশ। সব রকম মানুষের প্রয়োজনে আমরা দায়বদ্ধ ভিন্ন ধরনের মননশীল অনুষ্ঠান প্রচারে। কমিউনিটি রেডিও জেইউ 90.8 মেগাহার্টজ।